Hi YouTube, this is Lucy from KBeautyHobbit.com, and today's video is going to be all about the skincare mistakes that you might be making. Pardon the lighting today, it might be a little bit different, a little harsh. We had our windows replaced this week in the house, and unfortunately my lampshade fell victim to that process. Apparently when one of the windows was being taken out, they hit the lampshade and broke it, and the very nice guy from the window company said that he'll buy me a replacement one, but it'll probably be a couple days. So the whole setup had to change just because all the furniture was moved. So anyway, I'm very happy that the house repairs are hopefully finally almost finished after the hail that we had this year that took out all the windows on the front of our house, our roof, damaged our deck, our fence, garage door, a whole bunch of things. So hopefully this is the last part here and we can just move on until the next storm. If you're new to the channel, welcome, thank you for joining me. I've been into skincare pretty much my whole life, and specifically into Korean skincare for the last about 3 years. And I've seen a lot of interesting things. I run a Facebook group called Korean Beauty Fanatics, and people ask questions there all the time and they share their routines. And from there, and from talking to people, and just from being a human myself, obviously, I have compiled a small but mighty list of the most common skincare mistakes that I see. Some of these might be familiar to you already. It might be something that you go, oh, psh, I knew that. That's nothing new. Great. If you're one of those people, fantastic. That means you're not making those specific mistakes. But some of it might be new to you, so stay tuned. These are in no particular order. I wrote them down throughout the week as I was planning this video, kind of as things came to my mind. If you think of something else that I missed or something that you want to share, I love learning new things, so please leave me a comment below and let me know. The number one thing, and if you've seen anything on my channel or read my blog, KBeautyHobbit.com, you probably already know that I am a huge SPF proponent. Sun protection is needed for absolutely everybody, every day of the year. Doesn't matter where you live, unless it's dark all the time where you are. But UVA light, UVA rays penetrate clouds, they penetrate windows, car windows, and they age our skin. They can reduce collagen production, they can cause all kinds of photo aging symptoms, and of course the UVB rays are the ones that give us sunburn. So it's very important to wear SPF every day, all year round, in the winter especially as well, and that's one of those seasons that people tend to skip sunscreen. But this isn't even that sin. The sin that I'm talking about today as it relates to skincare is using only makeup as the means of SPF. So there's a percentage of people, I'm not sure what that percentage is exactly because I didn't pull the statistics and those statistics probably don't exist. But there are quite a few people that I ran across in my life that say, well, my BB cream or my foundation or my powder has SPF, so I'm okay. Well, in general, you want about a teaspoon or so of sunscreen on your face, or the way that I actually think of it is, and it's something I've seen online, is 2 finger lengths of sunscreen. So if you took a tube and just squeezed it from the bottom all the way to the end of your finger and then onto another one, that's about how much sunscreen you need for your face and neck for it to be effective. So most people do not use that much foundation or that much tinted makeup or that much BB cream. And so therefore you are not getting the SPF that you think you're getting. So if the BB cream says it's SPF 50, but you're only applying a little bit or you're only applying spots, you are not getting that SPF 50 level of protection. And it would be pretty unsightly to take that much colored sun protection makeup product. So I think most of us don't do that. And me specifically, I almost never wear foundation at all. I usually just do powder. So it is important to have your sunscreen step separately. And in Korean and Japanese skincare, the sunscreens are absolutely wonderful. They're not sticky. I have multiple reviews for different ones on my blog, and I share them on my Instagram. I've done videos you can check out on my channel. So there are lots and lots and lots and lots of options for people that are texturally nice, that wear well under makeup, and that will still protect your skin. And a follow-up to that is, do not forget your ears, your neck, sides of the neck, and your lips as well, and your eyelids. All of those places can and do get sun damage. You can get skin cancer on your ear tips, on your lips. There's special products for lips. I will put a link in the description box. This is not Korean one, and if you know a physical filter Korean lip product, please let me know. But the one that I found that is a physical filtered lip balm sun protection is by Vanicream. It leaves a little bit of a white cast, but I don't mind. It actually looks kind of cool. So I use that, especially when I go for walks and things. But if you know something else, leave me a comment, and I would be happy to check that out. Next on my list of things, inspired by a friend who came to visit last week, is sleeping in makeup. And she actually asked me to give her a talking to about that, and on the spot I kind of had to think about it. I'm not much on lecturing people necessarily, especially grown-ups, because I feel like we all make our choices, but sleeping in makeup is one of those things that might immediately give you problems. You might be one of those people that goes to bed with makeup on and wakes up with a face full of zits. Or you might be one of those people that could get away with it for a while and you might not even see any kind of negative effects. But all of the decorative makeup, foundation, eyeshadow, all of those things, they're not really meant to stay on your skin for such a long period of time. Can be irritating, can be drying. If the products have fragrance, they can be sensitizing, meaning that you might initially not have any problems, but the more you're exposed to it, you could develop some allergies, including co-sensitization, meaning the fragrance in the product can actually make your skin more sensitive to the other ingredients in that same product that you weren't previously allergic to. So I would definitely minimize the exposure to them to just your workday or just the night that you're going out, and take them off. But the one thing that I think some people are not aware of is mascara specifically. So any mascara, expensive or budget friendly, polymer or regular, waterproof or not, it makes our eyelashes a little bit more stiff, and sometimes a lot more stiff. And this actually happened to me. I do not sleep in makeup at night, but I have fallen asleep during the day when the baby's napping and I'm so tired, and I just would take a nap and I still have makeup on. And the risk is, if you roll over kind of on your face, and I do that sometimes, and the pillow hits your eyelashes that are stiffened with mascara, you can very easily snap them off. And it is a very unfortunate and a very kind of inconvenient thing, because eyelashes take some time to grow back, and no amount of makeup that at least I could do, maybe false lashes could fix that temporarily, but as far as just putting mascara on, it doesn't really hide the fact that you have some broken eyelashes, and it just feels a little bit bizarre. So sleeping in makeup, outside of breakouts and causing some dryness, and it can kind of speed up the aging process as far as wrinkles go and things like that, depending on the quality of cosmetics as well that you're using. But the more immediate danger is snapping your eyelashes off. And of course, sleeping with makeup on means that you're sleeping with all the grime of the day on, and all the dust and any other pollutants you might have picked up during your daily activities. And putting all of that onto your pillowcase, then transfer that to the pillowcase. And so the next night, unless you did laundry that day, you may have done your full cleansing routine and you're just feeling good while you're lying down on top of that pillowcase that has all your makeup on from the previous day and all the dirt of the day. So just do your best and wash your face. There are some convenience products available, like an all-in-one cleansing wipes. I'm not a big fan of the traditional makeup remover wipes. I feel like they're kind of harsh, and when we use them, we tend to, I feel like, rub a little bit more and just be a little bit less gentle with the face versus just using hands, but that's probably still better than not washing your face at all. So do your best as your time and your motivation levels permit. Along those same lines, you might think that simply cleansing is enough than just washing your face with some kind of foaming cleanser. What most of us who grew up in the Western world, what I would call it, are used to were just face wash. That's all I knew most of my life. It was a one-step process and just wash your face and you're done. Well, I would say that in this day and age, with all the information that's available, with how global the beauty industry is and how fast ideas travel now, I would say that not double cleansing is a skincare mistake. The water-based cleansers that foam, or some of them don't foam, they only take off certain amount of dirt and grime. Things that are all oil soluble, like SPF and certain types of natural sebum and some of the pollutants of the day and BB creams and CC creams, they do not come off with just the foaming cleanser. They really do need a cleansing balm or a cleansing oil, or at the very least a 2-in-1 cleanser that combines them. And if you ever want to experience that, kind of do a little science experiment, if you put BB cream on your hands or sunscreen on your hands and then go ahead and try and wash it off right away with just a hand soap, and you'll see it's just like trying to wash olive oil with soap off of your hands. It just doesn't come off. Some of it does, but your hands are still kind of greasy and oily. And then go ahead and just redo the experiment and try using a cleansing oil, and you'll see just how amazing the process of breaking up that olive oil or that BB cream is. It's really truly remarkable. It does work. You can see it working. So I think that's just such a better cleanse. I do see some critics out there saying that double cleansing is too much cleansing, that is stripping the face of the beneficial oils, causes dryness. And in my experience, I'm not a dermatologist, of course, so if you have a dermatologist and they're saying something different, please follow their advice. But in my experience, if you get the products that work for your specific skin condition, for your needs, something that is gentle, then you're fine. I think that's okay. You can always follow, there's a Japanese, very well-known skincare guru and author. I'm going to butcher the name and I'm sorry. Her name is Chizu Saeki. I'm probably mispronouncing it. She has a fantastic book. I received it as a present a couple years ago for Christmas. I'll put a link in the description box. It's sold on Amazon in a couple different languages. But she advocates one time a week just to let your face be. So she doesn't do anything to her face. I'd say still wear SPF, but basically she just does the most minimalist thing, just water to rinse it off, and she says that that allows the skin to still remember how to do its job, to still remember how to self-regulate. So if you're really worried about stripping your skin or cleansing it too much, you can adapt that process and just give your face a day off once a week, or however, maybe once every couple weeks, and see how that goes. I've done that many times and that works for me, but I don't do it every week anymore. This next part is a little tricky and I'm going to try my best to explain it. The skincare mistake that I wrote down in my notes is trusting beauty gurus. And in this day and age of all the social media and smartphones, anybody, seriously anybody, can start an Instagram, they can call themselves whatever they want, they can pretend to be an expert in something, and they can just dole out advice with all the confidence in the world. And you as a consumer of information need to really think about if this stuff makes sense. Think about what this person's credentials are. I am very upfront, for example, that I am not a dermatologist, I am not a cosmetologist, I am an accountant. I'm a pretty educated person. I have multiple undergrad degrees, I have a master's degree, but none of that is in skincare or medicine of any kind. I do read a lot, I educate myself, and I also try not to tell people what to do. I share my experiences, but take it or leave it. If there's something else that works for you, great. But I see some very bad advice out there. I think in the world of wanting to be the next big thing, to have the next new idea, to get the next bunch of followers, bloggers, and there are quite a few beauty bloggers now. People try to be innovative and in order to gauge interest and engagement on their social channels, and sometimes that results in some really weird advice. One of the examples that I can think of right off the top of my head is all the people recommending that you save the leftover essence from sheet masks and bottle it and then use it as essence in your regular morning or nighttime routine. So if you have never used a sheet masks come in a little envelope, which is meant to be opened right before use. You apply the mask, you wait for 20 minutes or whatever the instructions say, you discard the sheet mask, you discard the envelope. Most of them are recyclable, so recycle please if you can, and then you're done. Well, in a lot of them in that envelope, there's quite a bit of liquid left. And I normally would just take all of that liquid, I would spread it on my neck, I would spread it on my chest, or ears, even hands, whatever. I use it all up in that one session at the time that I'm using the sheet mask. And on most of the sheet masks on the back, it has a little symbol with a little jar where normally you might see, on other products, you might see like 6M or 12M, meaning after the product is open, you can use it for 6 months or 12 months before it expires. Well, on sheet masks, there's usually a little symbol there that means use it right away, and discard the leftovers, whatever. All of these sheet masks and the essences that are in them, they are not formulated to really keep fresh once that pouch is opened. They lack the preservatives that are needed. Once they come in contact with air, bacteria and things like that can grow in them. So to recommend that people save essences, put them in little bottles with droppers, and then use them, I understand the sentiment of wanting to be frugal and wanting to save money and not wanting to waste products, but I think it's just as frugal and just as wise financially to take that essence and just spread it on your body or spread it on your neck, whatever, at the time that you're using the sheet mask. Please do not save it. Do not decant it into dropper bottles. Please don't. You're just asking for skincare problems. And this is just one of the examples. There are many more that I look at something and I read it and it just makes me cringe. It's like, why? Please just don't. And if you are an influencer, if you are a beauty guru, if you have a following of people that listen to you, you have a responsibility, maybe not legally, but at least ethically, to do your absolute best to research things, to make sure that what you are suggesting people do is actually safe, at least to the best of your knowledge. So anyway, that was a bit of a rant, but it's kind of a sore subject because I see these ridiculous things all the time and just, anyway, rant over. Next skincare mistake is focusing on just the face. So just this. There's so much more to skin than just the face. I've heard the mixed makeup channel, they say that skincare should go all the way to the nipples. And to me, that maybe it needs to go even further. Legs are skin as well. So at the very least, when I do my evening routine, in the morning I have less time, so this doesn't always happen. But when I do my evening routine, I usually apply whatever I'm applying to the face, also to the neck, also to the chest, to the hands, to the ears. And the same thing goes for sun protection, my favorite subject. If you are going to be outside, put sun protection on your hands. Hands betray our age so fast. Same with necks. So my best advice is just be mindful. If your beauty products that you're using, if they're not really suitable for your neck, like if you're using some harsh acids or something like that on the face, then obviously don't put that on the neck. If you need to buy something a little bit more emollient, a little bit more moisturizing for your neck, if you really need a special separate product, you can do that. I will tell you though that if you have a good eye cream, it usually makes a fantastic neck cream as well. So that's one way to multi-purpose things. But in general, don't forget your neck, don't forget your hands, and don't forget your ears, especially when it comes to SPF. Here's another potentially long one. I wrote down focusing on skin types versus skin conditions. I see this a lot, especially in the Korean Beauty Fanatics Facebook group. People will ask a question about anything. Can you recommend cream, essence, lotion, whatever? And one of the first questions, and I'm also guilty of that. I'm guilty of this as well. I will ask, well, what's your skin type? And usually the options are dry, combination, oily, normal. Well, I would actually argue that we don't really have a skin type. We have skin conditions that change. So yes, maybe you are more prone to oiliness or more prone to dryness or more prone to having normal skin. But I think as we move through life, through different seasons of the weather, you know, fall, winter, etc., and through different seasons life-wise, childhood, teenage years, etc., etc., and sometimes just things like hormones and different health challenges and what we're eating, our skin can go through different conditions. It might be drier some days, it might be more normal other days. It maybe used to be really flaky and now it's super oily. So I think the point here is listen to your skin. I end my video, every video with please remember to listen to your skin, and I really do mean that. Look at what your skin is doing and create your routine accordingly. I know not everybody has a big array of products. I have maybe even too many, but I think it's good to have at least enough of a variety that you can cater your skincare routine every day to what your skin actually needs. If you're always oily and you're just so used to putting all these different mattifying products on, and then one day you wake up and you're dry, you need to be able to adapt. You need to say, okay, today my skin feels dry and tight. Maybe this mattifying cream is not what I need today. Maybe I need to do 7 skins, which is applying the toner up to 7 times in layers to really, really hydrate the skin. Or me personally, for example, I don't have a lot of breakouts, but I keep some products on hand that help with redness and irritation just in case something does happen. And I did a whole video on what I do for redness if you want to check it out. But things like that. So just pay attention. Don't assume that if you are oily today and you were oily yesterday and you were oily a month ago that you will always be oily. That is not the case. Things do change. From a non-doctor perspective, just a little advice: if you do notice something really drastically changing suddenly and you're having some kind of weird unexplained symptoms, sometimes that could signal some sort of underlying medical condition. So if something is going on that just seems off to you and more than just a seasonal, well, it's winter so my skin is more dry kind of thing, please go see your primary care provider or whoever you see, dermatologist. Just make sure that you're okay. You know, here's my little public service announcement for the day. The next couple tips focus on the method of application and some hydration. So the mistake that I see and something I used to be guilty of, and I just semi-recently discovered that I was doing this wrong, is applying hydrating products onto dry skin. So I used to wash my face and then dilly-dally in the shower, get halfway dressed, whatever, and then I'd put on toner and then the rest. Well, things work a lot better when it comes to hydration if you actually apply them onto skin that is still moist, that still has water in it. Because what happens when we are done washing our face is almost right away the moisture starts to evaporate and we start to experience what's called a transepidermal water loss. And to slow that down, we can put on the hydrating products right away. So toners, essences. And I used to think that I had to really let every step set or dry. And I don't think that anymore. It's true for some steps, but not others. So I would do, and I filmed this in my nighttime skincare routine video that I can put a link in here that you can check out. But basically I put on toner onto moist skin, and same with essence, same with serum. And then the next skincare mistakes that I see people do is not seal all of that in with some kind of a moisturizer. So the purpose of moisturizer isn't to hydrate the skin, so it's not to put water into your skin, but it's to keep the water there. So once you apply all of your hydrating steps, it is crucial to seal that in with moisturizers. In the morning, a lot of SPF products are actually moisturizing in nature, so you might not need an extra cream or an extra lotion. You might be able to just move directly to SPF, but at night you would need some kind of moisturizer to seal all of that in. Otherwise, all of that hydration you just put on will start evaporating and take more moisture with it, just leaving your skin even more dry than what you started with. And a follow-up little skincare mistake to that is using moisturizer on dry skin. There's absolutely no point. It's just like putting hand cream onto dry, cracking, sore hands. I did a whole video on hand care and what I do with that. I have horribly dry hands historically that are mostly under control now. But slathering moisturizer onto dry skin is absolutely pointless in most cases. It might make your skin feel a little bit softer because of the ingredients in the moisturizer, especially if it has silicones or anything that just fills in the little imperfections of the skin. But the purpose of moisturizer is to lock in hydration, and dry skin is already not hydrated. So you need something there first. You need a toner or an essence, or at least whatever leftover water you have from washing your face. So I would definitely recommend applying hydrating things onto wet face and then sealing them in with a moisturizer. Lastly, please be nice to your skin. Do not torture it with too harsh of acids or too strong physical exfoliation. Please, if you own St. Ives apricot scrub, please don't use it. Things like really harsh acids can just damage the skin barrier. They can cause severe peeling and cracking. And if you have really severe pigmentation issues, if you have mild ones, I have a video on hyperpigmentation ones. But if you have really severe pigmentation problems or texture problems or things that are making you want to explore very, very harsh, very intense peeling solutions, you might consider going to see a dermatologist or going to see a professional who specializes in this, who could make sure that you are not harming your skin further with your do-it-yourself efforts. And of course, the physical scrubs, there's some that are better than others, but many of them, including St. Ives, are made with very sharp, they're microparticles, but they're still very sharp and uneven, like walnut shells, for example, that basically scratch the skin, cause micro tears, can spread infection if you have an active breakout, and it just causes lots of trauma. There are many gentle products now. They're peeling gels and they're exfoliating discs. Even with those, you want to be cautious. You want to start maybe once a week and then maybe increase that to twice a week, see how your skin is doing. But there are many gentle products that are still very effective at exfoliation. So just be nice to your skin and baby it a little bit, and it will usually respond by behaving well, and try not to torture it into submission with all of these medieval kind of crazy do-it-yourself at home scrubs and intense peels. In case you can't tell, I haven't colored my hair in a very long time. I used to do henna every 2 to 3 weeks. My hair's growing really quickly, so what used to be every 4 weeks then had to be every 3 weeks, then it almost became every 2 weeks, and I just got tired of it. I am considering growing it out into my natural blondish ash blonde color. Let me know what you think in the comments, and let me know if you've ever grown your hair out from henna. Henna is kind of a special beast, and it doesn't really wash out, and you can't really cover it with any other color, so your only option really is just to grow it out. So if you have any tips on that, let me know. I'm still not totally sold on it. I might recolor it before all the holiday parties at my work and at my husband's work, just because I want to look okay and not have this harsh line between the roots and the hair. But anyway, kind of off topic, but let me know what you think. So I hope you found this video useful. Let me know what you think, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, all the things. I have an Instagram at KBeautyHobbit, my blog KBeautyHobbit.com, my Facebook page KBeautyHobbit, and my Facebook group Korean Beauty Fanatics. So find me on any of those things, and I hope you have a wonderful week. I will see you next Saturday, and until then, please remember to always listen to your skin. Thank you. Bye.